What's up? Happy Tuesday. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome back. Welcome back to episode 27 of Get Paid with Creative Nomad. Back. So, as you may know, we're finishing up last week. So we're on D today. D. Today's D is deliberate. Deliberate, baby. Be deliberate, right? Do what you need to do and what you want to do on purpose. Act on purpose. So that's today, deliberate. And those are my two really basic guidelines for myself in being deliberate. Act on purpose. Like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, my mentor said sometimes he feels like I'll do some things and not consider the consequence. I said, no, 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 I'm a Libra. I've weighed the consequences thoroughly, and I'm willing to accept whatever they may be of what I've considered. So here I am, acting on purpose. Be deliberate. Just I feel like the more you know yourself, the more you are in touch and in tune with who you are, it's easy to be deliberate. It's easy to know how you're trying to structure what you're trying to structure, whether it's children, your life, your business. It's not to say that the work will be easy, baby. Nobody's saying that. The work will not be easy. But the process of knowing your actions are deliberate will be easier because you are more in tune with who you are, with your hard limits, with what turns you on, what makes you click, what gets you motivated, what inspires you. You know what I mean? Just knowing exactly who you are. So then you don't need to waste time even in your leisure life. You're not going to waste time doing activities that you're not interested in. If you try them, or if there's just something about it, if the basic element of that thing is what you're just like, hell no, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Don't allow people to convince you when you know you. And you should know you better than your parents. And that should be a lot of work. That should be a lifetime of constantly every aspect of your journey through this life is about figuring you out, like, oh, that's interesting about myself. Let me look deeper into that. I can't be the only one that has just always been like that. And that's why it was tough for me to find my motivation, because my motivation was just humanity and knowing who I am. It wasn't money. I really just, my thing was, I want to be able to inspire people just by being me. I just want to be me. That's it. Like, I just want to be me, but I don't want to live below the poverty line. I should be able to use who I am. I feel like that's why we're all born, to use who we are to create our livelihood, to structure our life, to support our life. That should be our income. We shouldn't have to um, struggle and grind on shit that we hate, is pretty much all I'm trying to say. And if the main focus is I really just want to know who I am so I can be the best me and deliver the best of me to the world and help as many people as I can in the process of just being the best me and inspiring humanity, why shouldn't any human being with those intentions just being born, why shouldn't that be their payback to the universe? You know, it's priceless. Inspiration from one human to another is absolutely priceless. Absolutely priceless. So be deliberate, act on purpose. There shouldn't be any in all of our adult lives, especially if you're like 25 or older over, there shouldn't be any, oh, I don't know why I did it, or just because. If anything, just be honest enough to say, well, I don't need to tell you why I did it. I did it. Because that's relevant also, unless it's a child to a parent. If it's adult to adult, y'all get what I'm saying. I ain't got to break shit down. But you don't even need to explain to a peer why you did something. If it's not a business partner or your, supervisor, manager, superior at work or whatever, but it should be deliberate. It should be, everything should be done on purpose for the sake of you getting to your ultimate goal, not just because I want to be an asshole. So yes, I deliberately did asshole shit. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what we represent on this channel. Okay, that's not what this series is about. That's the other series. No, I'm playing. I'm joking. But just know that keep your goal is always what is what our eye should be on, what the ultimate goal is. Like, that's the roadmap, right? Our plan is our GPS, so we can't veer away from what the GPS is saying we have to do next. And that's one of the things that yesterday I found with that episode that was really enlightening for me, realizing that um, as much as I think I'm doing, there's always more that I could be doing. There's always more time that I could be utilizing better. Always. And it's just a matter of making ourselves do the things that we know we need to do for the betterment of our future or for our family or our children or whatever it may be. It's those tough things that the majority neglects doing, that we have to get done and we have to see through and we have to follow through on and just get the shit done. Because my brother used to always say, it'll be greater later. Yeah, that's if you grind the shit out and be patient and go through the hard time, be deliberate right now. It will be greater later, but you have to go through the right now. You have to put in the work right now. I have to keep grinding it out. I have to keep giving my best effort. Like, if I slack or half-ass or just start to drag, it will show. It will absolutely show. And I think you know like, you guys will even see it from here to there in certain episodes. Like, you'll see when, okay, it's been, she hasn't been 100% on point this week. Not on point with my message, but just, I feel like it comes across if there's a lot that I haven't gotten done, or if again I haven't been utilizing all of my time. I feel like it comes through because it weighs heavy on me. I'm constantly keeping tabs on myself and really keeping track and keeping myself accountable again, which is why I created this series, to help keep myself accountable. It's like, and here we are, 7 weeks in, consistent, and I'm growing. I'm growing, I'm learning, hopefully as the message spreads over the years, as people start to watch this series, I hope that as people listen and watch and really take notes and take heed and put in the action, right? Put forth the actual action and effort and get out here and get active. I hope they find it just as helpful and beneficial as I do making it, you know, because this is, and hopefully, I'll start to see those emails come in for the progress and accountability chain. So it's just like, it's another avenue to where if you really wanted the guidance, to help to really watch someone journal, video, vlog their journey through getting to their own success and implementing these building blocks to get paid, to be successful in what I consider success, to be able to live and be me and be creative and be paid to be creative and be paid off of my artistry enough to support my lifestyle to where that I can help. I can have a nonprofit. I can help homeless women in transition, transitional women moving. I can build my transitional housing center. You know what I mean? So these are the goals that I keep in mind why I'm doing what I'm doing. When I look back and watch different videos, like, I need that. It's a part of my rotation now because I need that, and it was all done deliberately. This was thought out deliberately. The thought of wanting to do a show. So, everything, I feel like when you ultimately know who you want to be and what you're trying to do, yeah, being deliberate, it becomes just like second nature. You won't do what you don't need to or want to do, and you will really pay much more respect to the things that you need to do and the times that you need to do it. You'll learn to respect those things and that timing, and you'll just fucking start to get it done. You'll just fucking get it done because you'll realize that who are you cheating? Who are you half-assing? Yourself. You're only cheating yourself. I'm only fucking me over if I don't. So be deliberate, act on purpose. Act on purpose. Know why you're doing what you're doing. If the why is nothing more than, this is what I need to do to get me to the next step of being a business owner or a CEO in your company, or whatever, a great parent or a better husband or wife, better spouse, whatever the case may be. The beginning is taking that first step, and you have to get a firm grasp on the first step. And that's like the majority of the battle, getting started. Once you get started, once you go down that path of who am I now? Because each phase of life, and then as we intertwine with people and in and out of relationships, one of my rules for myself after any relationship, I would always give myself 2 years in between every relationship. I would be single because my thought process was I have to get to know me again after that relationship. I lost a little bit of who I was, and what I gained, I need to know it. I need to tap into it. I need to figure out who I am now. I can't go into, and this is why I stand on saying I don't go and I haven't gone into relationships with baggage. I told my ex-husband that. I don't go into relationships with baggage because I allow grass to grow under my feet. That was my rule from a teenager when I started dating, when I was allowed to have a boyfriend, and that was just a little boyfriend. Nothing even sexual, just a boyfriend. But after my kid's dad, which again, I was a teenager, Um, but my first actual relationship, yeah, 2 years. Oh no, baby. No. I gotta be single. I gotta mingle. I have to get to know who I am now. Yeah, so that's just been a part of who I am. Just always coming back to, okay, what just happened? Analyzing what just happened. Who am I? What did I lose? What did I gain? What part of my, character or personality needs to be um, filed down and, softened or reshaped a little bit after that relationship? It's just, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. You are mixing everything with yourself and another person for an extended period of time. For me, I have to get to know who I am. Um, for me, it's always been very deliberate to know who is Shalanda Elise at every turn. So that's why things like talking to you guys like, oh my God, I don't know how to plan. Saying things like that. And that was a couple years ago. For those of you who are new to my channel, this was a couple years ago, but it's just like coming to all of my realizations is because I constantly analyze who I am. And that comes from knowing who I am. So recognizing when things change or are altered or are affected in any kind of way. And that was just my whole motivation. So now being deliberate and acting on purpose for me now is in the way of building a company and building financial success. I do feel like I'm successful as a human being, but that on its own, what I've come to realize over the course of 25 years, that honestly can't get change. That can't make change happen on its own. One of my cyber mentors said, I don't remember who it was, but something I was listening to. Hey, welcome. What's up, Miss Alexis? Welcome to the show. But one of them said, and it really registered with me, you can't get poor enough to help the poor. And I was like, exactly. You that's really just it. You cannot be poor enough to help the poor. So really being black, being born in this country, and any black Americans on here, it's rare that a black American born in this country, I'm a Gen Xer, was raised with financial literacy. I'll say it like that. That's rare. It's not to say that it's not unheard of for our generation, because we were raised by baby boomers. So it's not to say that that's unheard of. Um, but it wasn't at the forefront. The forefront was not ownership. So if that's something that we came into, really it had to be money motivated. And for me, it was all just self motivated. I just want to do me. I just want to be me. Period. I don't want to work for someone else. That's not me. Why? I'm not a slave. Why do I need to work for someone else? Why do I need a job? To create money, to create um, an income flow. I just never, but money wasn't my motivation. So although I am an entrepreneur and I can make money, I didn't have that capitalist spirit and that deliberate intention of wanting to make money, right? I didn't have that deliberate intention. My deliberate intention was I want to know me and I want to inspire others, to be the best them, period. And like behind that was, yeah, I want to get paid. Yeah, I want to live this type of lifestyle. But I didn't know how to build capital. But all of this, knowing me, figuring me out, and having these aspirations from young of just being an entrepreneur, being able to make my own money, but not knowing how to create wealth is something totally different. It's altogether different. Being able to, always create some kind of income for myself is one thing, but being able to build a company so that, like, when I moved to Arizona and uprooted my whole business of being a self employed hairstylist and makeup artist, feeling like an employee to my clients, not feeling like a business owner. Um, my whole thing was, again, who am I? I was divorced, and it was just like, okay, this is too much. It's too much. I don't know whose life this is I'm living. This is not my life. So, getting back to that, deliberate acting on purpose, I had to just leave everything to quiet the noise and shut everybody up and figure out what the fuck is happening. Whose life am I living? Whose life do I want to live? Like, I can only live my life, but I need to live my life. I need to do it on purpose. And I need to know that I am acting on my own accord, not because, oh, that would be great for my husband, or oh, my kids would love that, or oh, that would be, oh, my mom would be, oh, my. No, it's strictly, oh, you first thought of that when you were, 17, 13, 22, that, 30, that came, oh, it's just like we push ourselves so far to the fucking back that, again, I could never imagine just hopping from one relationship to the next. I have family members and friends, and I mean, damn near every woman I know. But baby, no, no, like there's just no way. I have to deliberately know who I am, because once I got to the point where I am now, that okay, now I get what it is to be a capitalist and I respect it. Not none of the negative bullshit that is attached to it, but that actually is not capitalism. But I get it. Being able to create wealth, build companies and resources, goddamn, and shit like that. It just, to innovate, to create companies and things of the future, like that is capitalism to me. So once I have that, after my years, my decades of self development, knowing me, really defining who I am and feeling like I'm a successful human being in character, now I can, go get my bags. And I say it all the time because for me, and there are plenty of people out here like me that have the desire, the aspiration, but really just don't know how. Don't know how. And some people simply just know how. So it comes seemingly effortless for them. And it's not to say that they didn't have to work their ass off for it. That's not to say any of that. But that's to say that they got results like that. You know, they put it out there, people bit, and boom, you know. And then there's some of us that will put it out there and don't want to bite, you know, because again, we make the mistakes of we're human, so yeah, we compare, you know, but it's just, you know, it's so seemingly um, unfair. And I say seemingly because really, what is fair? This is life. And it's just, it's what we make it, but it's just that, you know. So what someone may come out the gate and find success with, and yeah, may have to grind 19 hours a day, baby, but they're grinding 19 hours a day on their feet because they're booked. You know what I mean? Like they're busy. Like that's why they're, and that's why their come up is fast. So we hear these stories, and yes, it is an inspiration. It should be an inspiration. It's not to say that that is everyone. So I'm here vlogging my journey because I know that more of the majority struggle with keeping themselves going after, you know, a really short period of time with no payoff. Because it's like you want to quit your job or you went to school for this thing that you're doing. You know what I mean? And now you have to pick up a regular random ass job, you know, because you can't support yourself off this thing that you're doing that you went to school for, whatever the case may be. You know, it's just like, I get it. And that's why I'm vlogging this for my own, you know, little pick me ups and helping keep myself accountable so that I reach my goddamn goals, because I be damned if I don't. Like for real, for real. I spent so much of my life trying to figure it out that I'll be goddamned if I don't bring it all to fruition. Like that's just not acceptable. Period. It's not only not an option, but it's not even acceptable. Like come back, fucking try again. That's not even on the table. And anybody who brings it up and mentions it and tries to put it on the table, you're immediately dismissed. Period. And take that fucking idea with you. It's not happening. Like you have to, that's how deliberate I am. That's how serious I am about this shit. Like I feel like I have way too much to offer this entire fucking universe for generations to come, that it's going to, everything that I touch, everything that I put forth effort into, everything that I set out to do, to build, to achieve, will get built, achieved, will be a success. Everything that I sign my name to will become then a world-renowned name, a household name all over the world. Absolutely. That is a definite. So just be deliberate and act on purpose, you know, and put forth your maximum effort, man. And just know that if you don't, no one else will, period. Period. There's no fucking savior. There's no white knight. It's us. We have so much more power and control, you know, but owning up to that takes action. It's effortless to blame and to put it all on the hands of someone else, because now they carry the burden of doing all the work. But if it's truly not their responsibility, then of course they're not going to do the work, and you're going to leave your own bag sitting there. So now you're not doing the work, which is rightfully your work, and it's not getting done. And you know, Here we are. Kumbaya. Hakuna Matata. No, we have the control. Command it. Command what you want. Command what you desire. Fucking go after it. Don't be lazy. Listen to your body though. That doesn't mean fucking kill yourself. If you um grind it out and you stay committed and dedicated to the time that you wake up, to mostly making your tasks or making all of your tasks day to day, if goddamn it one day your body is like, okay, I need a nap, or I need to go to bed early, or I need to eat right now, or whatever, listen to your fucking body. Listen to your body. But what I'm saying is, go after that shit. Go after what it is that is fucking keeping you from getting good sleep at night. That thing. That's the thing that you need to be fucking doing. You need to turn your job into the fucking place that you hate going to now. That is your investor. Your paycheck now, you need to get on a financial plan. Again, like I recommended before, The Richest Man in Babylon, it's in my self-development playlist, but it pretty much is save at least 10% of all that you earn. That is yours to keep. That's yours. Your debt you pay from 20% of all that you earn. So now you have 70% that you are living off of. 70% for all of your household necessities, bills. So that means you really have to get strict with yourself about what your needs are, and where you can, cut down or whatever. But if that's what you have to do to now use your job as your investor to now start putting some of this 70% money that you're living off of, right? If you're able to take that and invest being not in iffy shit, but in you and creating, right? In that thing that you have, no matter what it is. If you need to start buying materials to build a prototype and to finally get out, this is what I'm saying. These things, your job should be your investor to creating your own financial freedom. That is, again, another reasons why I created this series. That's what Get Paid is about. It's working smarter, thinking smarter. When you know more, you do more. When you know better, you do better. So it's about really doing better with the information that we have and the information that we learn and that we share with one another. So um, act on purpose, be deliberate. That really is my message. And just know that, again, if you don't make the shit happen in your own life for yourself, there's no fucking body on this planet, dead or alive or soon to be born, that will do it for you. And that includes fucking everyone. There's no one that's going to do it for you. If you're a parent, you know it, because you're not going to do it for your kids. Why? Because you can't. Like, you literally cannot. Your parents could not do it for you, no matter how much they wanted or no matter how much you may have wanted them to. That is an actual impossibility. But if you break that down to say I'm possible, then yes, I'm possible to be the one to create a fucking nonprofit for transitional women that aren't fucking on drugs and don't have a career homelessness and just fuck, she got divorced or she lost a job and didn't get another one in time, and she live in the motherfucking US. Like, everybody's just one decision away from being homeless anyway. Like, you know what I mean? There needs to be something for sane, healthy, transitional women that don't have a string of fucking problems to be able to be housed and, further educated or whatever they need to help bring out their own ideas, not just to go and get another fucking job, to teach them how to fish, to teach them how to create their own income and create their own income levels. That is what it's about. There's always going to be employees. So the argument of, oh, well, somebody's got, there's always going to be, as long as people have kids, like, I feel like the regular job working arena should be up to max like 25, and that's like pushing it, 21 maybe, you know if you know if that, because if you're starting to teach your kids financial literacy and um, building wealth, entrepreneurship, and creating, building wealth and capitalism from young ages, then they're always going to be making money. That's where we don't want to. Hi, James. Welcome. How are you? That's where we don't want to drop the ball right there. Teaching financial literacy, especially in the Black American brown communities, this needs to be a regular part of our household deliberately. you know Having the little lemonade stands, that's not just, oh, cute and fun. That is a whole goddamn business. Selling cookies, creating candy stores. Back home we used to have candy stores. Even as an adult, when I lived there earlier this millennium, I had a candy. Like, that's just, I always was an entrepreneur. So it's just like, when you start doing that, so as your child age and they get accustomed to this, now this is their thing. So then they're 7, 8, 9. Now they're taking their own interest and figuring out how to get paid off of it, how to create a hustle and a side business and shit like that. So there's just really not a reason that we need to raise our children to be employees. There's really not a reason that our children should ever have to fill out a job application unless it's strictly just because they want that experience or want to learn, on the job, the business end of it. But it's really not necessary. It really isn't necessary. There's enough people out there with financial illiteracy to work those jobs well into mature ages. So we don't have to worry about there not being enough employees to work at Starbucks, or the mom and pop coffee shop. There will be. And the mom and pop coffee shop, baby, to save money, they work there and they have their nieces and nephews and grandchildren work there. They're not hiring you and I to work there. They don't have that expense, They have the tax write-off of having a family member. So it's just like, we have to be smart about it. We have to be smart. Again, being deliberate, acting on purpose about everything, building our economics, building our character, building our personalities, and just building the life that we want to live. We have to be smart about it and really make ourselves do it. That really comes down, that's the bottom line. We have to make ourselves do it, period. Because you can, watch this series, like when I used to vlog my weightlifting journey, and a lot of my hairstylist girlfriends would be like, girl, you do that. I was sitting and watching you eat muffins and shit. And I'm just like, baby, eating muffins is not going to tighten up that ass. Watching me eat muffins is not going to help you out. You need to watch me and work with me. That's why I'm doing this. for you live real time. Like, let's get it. Let's get fit together. So that's it. Let's get paid together. Let's be the best humans we can be together. Let's use these building blocks in our day lives. I've never been Miss Congeniality. Um, I'm silly. I love to laugh. I just keep it 1,000. But I've never been Miss Congeniality. Life is too short to fucking be fake. Life is too short to not get to know me. Life is too short to spend, goddamn it, fucking 38 years in one long ass relationship with a bunch of different motherfuckers. No. Life is too short to not know who I am from today to who I was at 22. That's insane. That's ridiculous to me when I see a lot of my age mates or classmates that still wear the same type of makeup or that same fucking slick back ponytail. Alert, 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 baby. This is not 1987. I'm gonna need you to please let it go. Please let it go, because you look ridiculous now. Can you please unline your lips? Please. And I'm talking about I love them dearly, but you gotta come into the 21st century physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. Be present, be in the moment, and don't be in the moment fucking with a can of Aquanet in your back pocket. Like, just, we have to deliberately be able to adapt, adjust. We have to be able to innovate. If you like the look, it's called ombre now. So feather it out. If you like the dark outer, light inner. But don't just do the harsh fucking black eyeliner like we did in 1986, in 1987, pushing it in 1991. Like, already this shit was getting old. So the little ponytail to the side. No, no, no. You got men over 40 still doing the same shit. No, this cannot be the life that we aspire. And we have to accept the fact that it is on us to create whatever life we want. We can't beg and plead for some savior. We have to fucking command it and say, you know what? Okay, this is what. And then once you command the universe to open this shit up for you, you have to do it. You have to get off your ass and do it. You have to stop making the excuses of this, that, and the third. You have to get it done. You have to get it done. And then again, it doesn't matter which end of the spectrum you're on. If you're on the end of the shit happened for you easily, you'll probably never come across this series, and it's not even relevant for your life. Shit just happens easy for you. If you're one that you gotta constantly grind it out, like, it just doesn't come that easy for you, then okay, here I am. Welcome to this series. You will love it, but you have to be willing to put forth the actual active effort. You have to be willing to put forth the work. We will get there. We will get there, absolutely. We'll get there together. We're going to have a meetup. I keep telling you guys that we're going to have a meetup. We're going to get there. We're going to share our progress even at that 12 months, no matter how great or how little or whatever we may think it is. So, welcome. Absolutely, I would love to have you guys be a part of the progress and accountability chain. So the information is in the description. The email is all there. And it begins with acting on the thoughts and being deliberate with our entire process of absolutely everything that we do. Being deliberate and acting on purpose, not accepting, oh, I didn't know, or oh, none of that shit. None of that shit. If you're over 25, man, you're too old. We are all too old to, one, make excuses for what we do, or two, to have, I don't know, be a lame ass cop out for why we did what we did. We're way too old for that. Um, we have to be deliberate. We have to act on purpose and achieve these goals. Achieve these goals. We have to keep in mind future generations, and every milestone we make, we are setting a path and leaving some inspiration, some hope for them. We have to keep going. We have to keep trying. We have to keep one another uplifted, encouraged, motivated, supported. It's really, really, really essential. Um, in the Black American community, our economic status, it really is essential. And it's to our own personal benefit, And once all of us or enough of us get diligent in ownership, I mean, and are ready to really be willing to die and fight and die, protecting what we own, not a fucking house. I mean, like land or our business, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Real ownership. Real fucking ownership, not a fucking 30, 45-year mortgage, but a 1 year, 2 year fucking land payoff. Some real shit, your business, something that you are nurturing and putting your all into to be around for 100+ years. Shit like that is what it's got to be at the forefront. We've got to be deliberate. We've got to be deliberate. And if you have small children now, nieces and nephews, start now. Start like tomorrow with them. Any little thing, if they like to draw, baby, have them draw some shit. Get it laminated or anything. Just find ways. Get them if they like to pay. Find ways to get them to be able to sell their art, sell their creations, or while they work on that, if they need shit, boom, start a lemonade stand, sell fucking popcorn, make some good old fashioned popcorn. Ooh, make some good stovetop popcorn. Sell some popcorn, jazz it up, give some options, just get them, have a steady time that they're open, you know what I mean? Whatever, get them in the habit of working for their own money and time management. If they know, okay, when I get home from school or on the weekends, if they can only do it on the weekends, okay, I have my store. We open at this time, so I have to be up. I gotta have my breakfast. I gotta, we have to prep this, whatever it may be. Like this, all is structure and discipline for them. This is all healthy shit. Being on these fucking phones or just bullshitting around. Why? Fucking give them something productive to do. Even if they're teenagers, they begging for shit. Give them, and instead of just giving them, just saying, so make them do it. So then once they see the results of their own effort, okay, make them put away 10% of everything that they earn. The rest they reinvest back into the business, more product, whatever it is they need. Boom, make more. If you get more, 10% of what you earn, that's yours to keep. You don't touch, you don't, whatever. You see what I mean? It's just like we have to be deliberate. We really have to be deliberate in our intentions and our efforts, what our motivation is, what is our goal. And I just strongly believe our goal as Black and brown American born people It should be ownership. It should be ownership, period. It should be building our economics. It should be financial literacy and financial independence, generational wealth. And to really achieve that, we really have to hold ourselves accountable for deliberately supporting Black owned, not minority owned, Black owned, specific Black American owned, right? Whether it's WeBuyBlack.com, I'm still waiting for my order of toothpaste and mouthwash to come from them. I'm trying the toothpaste powder. It had great reviews. Um, and I've heard about it over the last few years. But yeah, checking out Black owned places here. Actually, I went to Santee Alley last week, and that's a little place where a bunch of wholesale shops, like a lot of the fast fashions, get their stuff from in that area here in downtown LA. But one of the places that I went to was two places actually one place where I got my earring. Actually, this and my earrings were the two different stores I went to that I purchased from those two Black owners. And so it's just like we have to be diligent in wanting to build our own economy. So that means supporting Black owners, Black entrepreneurs, Googling Black owned restaurants near me in your area, because there are. Like I did that here in LA, and they're not around the corner. Yeah, I have to deliberately plan to go there. Again, be deliberate. It's all about intention and really planning out our life, our day, our week, you know what I mean? And even our leisure. Like if I want to get that, one place is in Long Beach, I think another place is like in South Central, so I have to um, really prepare for the travel. But they're there and they're options. It's not just one type of soul food or some shit. So things like that is what we really have to, for Black Americans born in the United States. We really need to put our efforts there, on building our economy, on being deliberate when it comes to ownership all across the board. We're the only ones that, have not gotten back on board. We can't um, we can't just keep remembering about Wall Street without trying to, or actively, not even fucking trying, without actively rebuilding it. It's 2020. It's been what, 99 years? So it's time. We can't just be a fucking one and done or even a two and done. We can't fucking just give up or just lay there and play possum so easily. We know we're dealing with, extreme levels of hate. We just have to love ourselves enough to know that, okay, I'm gonna keep coming. I'm gonna keep coming. You gonna come harder? I'm gonna come harder. Okay, I'm gonna start to keep teaching my kids younger. Okay, I'm gonna make sure my children never become employees. I'm gonna make sure my children never have to fill out one of your fucking applications and go through that bullshit that you're gonna take them through. I'm going to make sure, you know what I mean? Like these are all things that we can do, but it takes us taking our own responsibilities, being accountable, not pointing fingers. You see what I mean when I say when we hold ourselves accountable and take the responsibility, it requires action. And I mean we as human beings, just people, period. It requires action to say, oh yeah, I could have done that. Oh, I should have not said that. Oh, I could have said that differently. Oh yeah, I should. Like that takes a lot more work, and that takes work in recognizing, okay, you get in that situation again, you recognize it. Okay, so do you do the same shit you did the last time that made you look like an ass? Or do you now do something different because you learned, because you did analyze, you did take the responsibility and hold yourself accountable to say, I could have not even said that at all, or I could have responded much different. You see what I mean? So now when the situation is upon you again, you respond differently, deliberately. And, it becomes growth, and it really just becomes a way of life. It's not to say that every day is going to be perfect and there won't be times when you allow yourself, yes, I'm wording it like that because it's all deliberate, but that you allow yourself to let a motherfucker have it. You have to release the steam. You got to release the steam off the top, you know? But so that's not to say that you won't have days like that. Especially, sometimes people don't respect the quiet tone. I know being a Libra, people like to play with scales. They like to put little shit and put a feather. Let me put a little pebble. Let me put a big heavy ass rock. Let me put a stack of computer papers. Let me just silly shit. And being a real life scale, real life. So people don't respect when I say things softly or quietly or, respectfully, come for real, but it was quiet and eloquent. It's not until I really have to put a little bass and a little pressure in my voice and really let it be known that then people get who I am. So even if you have to do that at times, it's deliberate. It's deliberate. So always be deliberate and act on purpose. But again, we're not talking about just deliberately being an asshole. It's not what we represent. No, we're talking about positive growth. Positive growth being the best people that we can be for ourselves. You have to be able to look yourself square in the eye. You have to be able to be comfortable with yourself at night, to sleep peaceful, to enjoy your own company, to be at peace with yourself. This to me is like the ultimate, and it's something that I've always had because from the moment I noticed that I didn't have that as a young girl transitioning from St. Louis to Minnesota, I needed to get that because I never felt that before. So, from 12 years old on, I'm like, oh no, yeah, let me stay in tune with who I am because I didn't like that feeling of just feeling lost and like, no, 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 no. That's horrible. That's horrible. So be deliberate, know who you are, and really, for any Black Americans listening to this now or in the future, put our economics in the front of your mind: financial freedom, financial literacy, financial independence, and ownership, 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 ownership. Also, like I've stated before, politics is something for everyone. City council, Senate, these local positions are all things that we all can fill, and we all need to be filling these positions. If you have teenagers like, 18, 19, young adults, 20, early 20s, that have always expressed an interest in humanity, I'll say. I won't even say politics. I'll just say humanity. I would encourage you to encourage them to see about running for a city council. It's we just really have to do our part to reconstruct the system. It's what has to be done. Again, these old ancient ideas and laws made by old ancient as heterosexual down low white men, this can't work. It's 2020. So We have to do our part. These were regular men. If you guys listen to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and listen to it and hear him talk about the stories and the efforts, right? I think it'll give you a better understanding of why I say some of the things I say, using the history of some of the wars in this country as like that should be inspiration. You know what I mean? That like that's what has to get done. But the determination, like these were just regular men, just regular people is my point, and they decided that this is all going to be formulated and they're going to be the ones. So we have to you know, be the ones now to step up to the goddamn plate. We're up. We're up. But trying to live 2020 with, you know, families looking like the goddamn new rainbow and, you know, children coming out with their sexuality at preteens and shit like that. Like, we can't keep living off 18th century ideas, 19th century ideas and laws. And like, this shit has got to be fucking completely dismantled and redone. And we have to be willing to do it. And we have to tackle it from all sides. Um, the you know, political side, the economic side, the social side. We have to tackle it from all aspects, and it also is a part of our own growth again, and financial literacy, independence, freedom, generational wealth, and really getting the clout that we deserve for our lifetime contribution to the fucking humanity of the world. Period. You know, we need to start expressing and showing more our pride for our contributions that we know. Fuck trying to get anyone else to know. How you let anyone else know is by using that information and that energy to follow that path and build and create some of your own shit that you want to establish and nurture to the point of generational wealth. That's how we do. We don't do it by constantly saying it and beating a motherfucker over the head, saying shit they know already. Okay, so what are you gonna do about it? We're saying to them, what are they gonna do about it? Fuck, nothing. And they're looking like, well, what are you gonna do about it? That's your shit to fix. It is. No one's going to come and start a business for us. No one is going to come and say, oh, Shalanda, you're out of this? Okay, let me find a black-owned store, or let me figure out a black-owned website where you can no, that is my responsibility. The same way anytime I walk into a minority-owned store, if it's a Mexican store, there's a bunch of Mexican shopping in there. If it's an Asian store, there's a bunch of Asian shopping in there. If it's an African store, guess what? There's not African Americans or Black Americans shopping in there. There's Africans shopping in there. But you know what I don't see? I don't see as many Black-owned stores. And I don't see us seeking them out. And this is what we have to do, because they are out there. And they would be more in abundance if we started supporting them, and then we also became a part of them with our own Black-owned business, online, whatever. You know, so that is our part. That is our duty. Just like success is our duty, to get paid is our duty. And only a slave relies on what his master gives him or her to eat and to clothe him or herself. Only a slave does that. And that is what a job is if you don't use it as your first investor. Use your job as your first investor. So, if you guys happen to listen to The Richest Man in Babylon and or Think and Grow Rich, again, they're in my self-development playlist. I would love to hear your comments once you read it or as you're reading it, or even if you just want to email me and discuss it. I would love to know what you think about it if you're ready for real growth, real change. It's not some culture, something like that. The Richest Man in Babylon, I love the financial plan in that. That is the one I follow. And it also, make me think about with me and having a lifetime of self-development in all aspects of me and of life. I'm like, so this is where those motherfuckers really took the whole 10% and spent it and put religion on it and tithes and all that bullshit. No, this is your own financial plan. That's 10% for you to eventually not just to save uselessly saving, but to use that to invest. And so, like I said earlier, which again is from The Richest Man in Babylon, if you're able to, from the 70%, if you're able to make investments from that portion, that's even better because this will be growing. But by the time, the whole purpose of that is to invest it. So now that money can go out and start working for you and making more money, right? So again, so now that business is right, it's up, it's running, it's profitable. So now 10% from those earnings you save. As your income increases, of course, now your 10% is going to increase, but that is your money to keep. So at the end of the month, at the end of the year, what you have to show for your work is this 10% that you save. You know, that's one of my housemates. Um, so that's just that's really the difference in how you work your job as an investor, because now you actually have something to show for the work that you put in someone else's job, and of course also yours. So the same thing as a business owner. 10% of what your business brings in is now your personal to keep, yours, not you as a business owner, but now you as a person, right? So separate from your EIN, this 10% now is attached to your social. So you can do whatever with that, right? So this is how you recycle your money and how you really, I love how we broke down putting ourselves in check on what our necessities are. We confuse our wants and necessities. So right now, yeah, we may be living hand to mouth right now. Our money may not go as far as we think it is. So it's like, okay, to now put away 10% to live off 90% when I'm already not making enough anyway. Well, we're probably greatly living outside of our means, greatly, from the little coffee that we buy every day. Okay, well, invest in buying a coffee pot, or if you don't want to spend that money, or if you don't have the space, get what I get, the little drip little thing. So you just get the little coffee filters, put them in there, and you buy your big ass thing of coffee. Boom. You don't have to worry about it. You buy your coffee creamer. Boom. So now, okay, you invest in a coffee mug, which you probably already have one. So you got your little coffee. That's saving you, okay, what, $30 a week? A week, right? So that's saving you $30 a week. Like, actually, you can take that money, whatever you buy for coffee, you can take that, and I would say put it in a separate little pot so you can actually see how much money you're just carelessly, cavalierly spending on a daily basis when you buy that little egg and cheese bagel versus, and this is all again being deliberate. So now you gotta wake up a little earlier. You may have to go to bed a little earlier. And again, as you become more deliberate, you're able to rest more peaceful. And when you command your subconscious at night, like I mentioned, I want to say it was in yesterday's episode, all of these things you'll rest more peacefully. But baby, you can buy you a pack of bagels, some eggs, some, whatever you put on it. Buy all that shit at home. Make that in the morning. Like, you just have to invest a little bit of time. But it's the same thing when you going through the drive-through and you gotta leave a little earlier, but you're already running late. But you gotta have this. And I mean, I just bought some of uh, the little hash brown, little round hash brown, like things like that. I think Burger King have them. I haven't had Burger King in a long ass fucking time, but the little medallion potato hash browns. Just bought some of those from 99-cent store, and they're good. Pop them in the oven, baby, really good. Bagels, eggs, whatever meat you want to put on it, whatever. This is going to save you, again, how much? Put that money in the pot so you can see how much. And again, so once you do all these little things and you're putting away your 10%, you see what you're working for, and you see how you're spending more on your wants versus your needs. So once cut that shit out, it becomes easier to live off the 90%. Again, if you have debt, that's 20% of your income. So now it's 70% that you're living off of. It becomes a lot easier when you become more deliberate on what your goal is. If your goal is to be financially free, to not be a slave to your job, to what they give you, and to at the end of the month have some money to show for all the fucking work that you've done at your job. um, The Richest Man in Babylon is what you'll want to listen to on repeat. Again, it's in my self-development playlist. And the Think and Grow Rich is also a good one to listen to as well. A good motivation to knowing how to really achieve your desires, and the thoughts that are in your head. So those two I really highly recommend, like I always do. So if you guys do decide to listen to them, let me know. Hit me up. Again, the email is in the description if you want to be a part of the um, Progress and Accountability Chain. Get your emails to me by 11 p.m. Thursday Pacific Standard Time. I'm in California, so California time. And yeah, subscribe to your girl's channel. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow we are actually doing P. So today was D, deliberate, because I cut last week short. So tomorrow we are doing P. So we're just going to run straight through and we'll get back on track Monday. All right. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. Love yourself. Be deliberate. And let's achieve these goals. All right. I want to see as many of you guys as possible at our meetup next year, which will be announced once we reach the 6-month mark. All right, you guys. Have a great night. Happy Tuesday. Peace.